Here it comes! From the 444RR Studios in Maryland, it's The Talk Is Right, the only UCast with game shows, magic, and more. And now, here's the star of The Talk Is Right, 444RR.
All right, it's Wednesday, November 7th. Happy Wednesday to you all, and happy post-election day. If you haven't heard, Barack Obama is still our president. Congratulations to Barack Obama. That's going to make some people very, very happy and some very, very sad. There's one thing, though, I think we can all agree on, which is thank goodness for no more political ads on TV. I never thought I'd be so excited to hear Jamie Lee Curtis talk about Activia again. So, again, congratulations to Barack Obama. Now, I want to update you on some of the stuff we had on our ballot here in the Maryland area. And I'm going to be very, very unbiased in this. I'm not going to talk about my opinions and what I think of all this. But I do want to talk about first question 7. Question 7 was to bring table games like blackjack, roulette, craps to Maryland. We already have legalized gambling, which is where we can play slot machines. But we can't play table games here. To play table games, we would have had to gone out of state to like Delaware and gone to Harrington Casino, or go to Pennsylvania and go to the Sands Casino, or go to West Virginia and go to Charlestown Races and Slots, or the Hollywood Casino, which I've been. Very, very fun to go to a casino and gamble and eat some food, you know, kind of thing. I do have to tell you that question 7 was passed. So now we're going to have table games here in Maryland, like slots and blackjack and roulette and that kind of thing. Also, question 6, I think most people, that was the big question on the ballot for most people, and it was to legalize same-sex marriage. Everyone seemed to have an opinion on this issue, and same-sex marriage is now legal in Maryland. So people of the same sex, so if you're gay, you can now legally get married in Maryland. We actually had it in, I think we had it in Maryland for a time. But it was on the ballot to let the voters decide, because our governor, Martin O'Malley, passed that measure to let same-sex couples get married, but people were so upset about it, they wanted it on the ballot to let the general public decide on it. So it was passed. And also question 4, which was the DREAM Act, which basically is this. It gave illegal immigrants who completed community college and have lived in the United States for at least a year the same tuition rates as people who've lived in the United States for their entire life. So that was passed as well. And people had an opinion on this issue on the ballot as well, like for the entire election season. So that's kind of some of the major issues that were going on here in Maryland and some of the major stuff that was on our ballot. All right, so now let's get into the Talk Is Right and our game show news. All right, so I said I would report on the Price is Right's Halloween episode, and I intend to do that. I will report on it. If you don't know, the Price is Right went carnival for their Halloween show. Drew Carey was the ringmaster, George Gray was the contortionist, Amber was a bearded lady, Rachel was a strong woman, and Manuela was a snake charmer complete with real snakes. I found it to be one of the most entertaining Halloween episodes ever of The Price is Right. I think the theme was done just enough. It wasn't overdone like the 70s theme. I thought the 70s theme last year was really stupid. I thought they overdid it. Everything was disco balls hung everywhere. There was shag carpeting everywhere. The games were decked out in shag carpeting. I found that to be a big no-no for me. But it wasn't one of the least entertaining to watch either. It was right in the middle. I think the least entertaining to watch was Drew Carey's first year when Roger Dobkowitz did a Halloween show. I thought that was dumb. Really all it was Drew Carey wearing vampire fangs the whole time. Nobody was dressed up in costume. The set wasn't really decked out. I mean, they had a few gargoyles and stuff around the big doors, but it wasn't decked out like they do for their Halloween shows now. So I think that it was one of the most entertaining ones to watch. So I'm biased, though. So it was the Wizard of Oz was the best one for me. That was the most entertaining one for me. I'm biased. Some other things that happened in the carnival theme, they had some of the showcase prizes were carnival related. They gave like a big carnival showcase away. They gave like a cotton candy machine, a skee ball table, that kind of stuff. So put your own carnival on in the backyard. The first prize was a skee ball table they gave away for the item up for bid. So that was pretty exciting. Some other things I didn't like was they tried to play a lot of the games that were carnival related. They played Plinko, they played Punch-a-Bunch, so they really tried to play a lot of the carnival themed games. I will say one thing, I was very upset about The Price is Right. They have one game that is carnival based, that's actually carnival based. Like, you might see Punch-a-Bunch or Plinko at a carnival, but there's one game that you can definitely see at a carnival, and they didn't even play it, Shell Game. They should have played Shell Game. I don't know why they didn't, but they should have for their Halloween show. It made perfect sense for the carnival, because that is like a really big carnival game, is the Shell Game. Why they didn't play it, I have no idea, but I'm not the producer, so I don't know. Some other fun things that happened in the carnival theme. George Gray modeled a bunch of the prizes, and he was all mixed up and contorted when he was modeling. It was really cool. I will say one thing: George moved around too much when he was modeling the prizes, and you could tell that he wasn't really contorted. So, tip to George: when you model prizes, when you're supposed to be a contortionist, don't give away your secret, because he did. He gave away the secret. Another thing, when they needed like something pushed out of the way, like a prize backdrop with a giant price tag, when they needed the giant price tag lifted up, Rachel lifted up the giant price tag because she was a strong woman. A lot of people didn't catch this in the Halloween show. I had to go back and re-watch it on my DVR, but a lot of people didn't catch Amber's beard kept growing throughout the entire show. I didn't catch that when I first watched it. Somebody mentioned that online, and I was like, I didn't even notice that. So I went back and watched it, and I'm like, yep, they're right. And what was really cool is Manuela had the giant snake throughout for most of the show, so it was really cool to see the giant snake. Of course, Bob Barker probably will call the show up and tell them that they didn't like that because, using a live animal in the show, that's, that's being mean to animals, especially when they had the snake model the watch. They had 2 watches as an item up for bids, and the snake modeled it. When I watched it, I was like, Bob Barker's going to call and complain the show. I know he is. Because why, that's hurtful to animals and things like that. No disrespect to Bob Barker or the crew, but, Bob's probably going to call the crew and make a big fuss over it. And another thing is, also there were live snakes during Plinko. On the prize pedestals, they had live snakes. And so that's enough of that. I think I've gone over most of the, and for Shopping Spree, when they played that game, the scooter that was one of the prizes, it looked like Rachel was holding it up. It was suspended there in midair because you could tell it was suspended, but it looked like Rachel was holding it up. Great job of the crew on that. I got to give a shout-out to the Price is Right crew because you couldn't see the wires holding up the scooter, so that was very cool. They used wires that blended into the backdrop, so very, very cool to them. You couldn't even tell. At first, I knew it was suspended, but I kind of had to think for a minute, was it really suspended? Okay, the next thing I want to report on is some future Price is Right special episodes we're going to see. You can go to OnCameraAudiences.com, and you can that's where the tickets now are for the Price is Right. Go to PriceIsRight.com, click on tickets at the top of their page, and you can get tickets from On Camera Audiences. And they actually have some of the specials that they're going to tape, and honestly, I'm looking forward to some of these, and some of these I'm not really looking forward to. They're going to do a Christmas special. I find this very weird. If you go to On Camera Audiences, first of all, they're taping them next week, November 12th, 13th, and 14th. They're taping the Christmas specials. So Price is Right really tapes their shows in advance now. The weird thing I find is Monday, November 12th, they're taping 2 Christmas specials. Tuesday the 13th, they're taping 2 Christmas specials, and Wednesday the 14th, they're taping 2 Christmas specials. That's 6 Christmas specials. Huh. I find that a little weird because there's 5 days in a week, but yet they're going to tape 6 Christmas specials. Does that mean on Christmas we might see a primetime Price is Right? I don't know about that. Could be a typo on camera audiences. Maybe not. Maybe they are really going to tape 6 Christmas specials. And maybe we'll see 2 Price is Right specials on Christmas. Who knows? Maybe we'll see $1 Million Spectacular on Christmas. That would rock if we could see $1 Million Spectacular on Christmas. Another special Price is Right is going to have is a Nurses Day special. They're asking all nurses to be on the Price is Right and play for prizes. That's one I'm kind of looking forward to. You know, kind of mitza. I don't really know, and that's a word I use, mitza. It means, nah. I'm kind of looking forward to that, kind of not. I mean, they should have, like, a doctors and nurses special, not just limit it to nurses. They really shouldn't. And one that I don't know how this is going to work out, they're actually going to have a Super Bowl special. I don't know. Of course, you know this. They're taping that on Wednesday, November 12th. So they're taping that way in advance of the Super Bowl. I don't know what they're going to do for that. I'm sure one of the prizes is going to be a trip to the Super Bowl. But other than that, how are you going to have a Super Bowl special? I don't really know how that's going to work out. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. We'll have to wait till the Super Bowl to see, you know, how that's going to work out. Okay, some more game show news. We have ratings reports. This is ratings from a while back ago for the week of October 15th. So it's a while back ago. I couldn't report on this, though, because I had other, anyways. Wheel of Fortune, as usual, had the #1 viewership for that week in its first run non-sports programming. And that beat out Judge Judy for the second household rating. So Judge Judy actually was #2 for that week in non-sports programming. Wheel was down a couple 100,000 in viewership to 9.8 million, but still, it retained its 6.5 household rating from last week. It's the third highest scoring first run non-sports Cindy was again Jeopardy. So the top three were Wheel, then Judge Judy, then Jeopardy. Jeopardy, was almost even with the previous week with 8.5 million viewers. Family Feud went down over 200,000 viewers from the week before to a smidgen under 6 million viewers. So keeping its 4.2 rating foothold. Okay, so it went down, but it's still doing phenomenal for Family Feud. With Steve Harvey taking over as host, it does phenomenal. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire has rebounded nicely for the week of October 15th to 2.3 in the household ratings, and has a viewership of 3.1 million. So that's doing pretty well for its time slot as well. Figure It Out with its second new season and 6th overall of Nickelodeon's Guessing Game premiered October 15th with almost 2.2 viewers. A very nice figure. So it's averaging just under 2 million viewers for the whole week. So, yes. So Figure It Out's doing very, very well. And let's see. The Newlywed Game, which was back, the 2 hours of the Newlywed Game averaged 312,000 viewers. Mimicking the numbers produced by the Pyramid's disappointing weeks. So I'm going to kind of break down a little bit of the Pyramid and how it went. Week 1, viewers average over the week was 519,000 viewers. For week 2, it dropped down to 329,000 viewers. Week 3, Pyramid had dropped down to 344,000 viewers. Week 4 was 341,000. Week 5, it dropped down to 314,000. Then for week 6, dropped down to 279,000, and then 275,000. Then it rebounded a little bit to 278,000. So notice that Pyramid was going down more than it went up. So I don't know if that means we're going to see another Pyramid or not. So the show has real potential for not returning for a second season. So, but it's up to you guys. Email GSN. Tell them I want Pyramid to stay on the air, because if not, it's going to get canceled more than likely. So let's not see Pyramid get canceled. All right. That's enough game show news for this week. The game show news is kind of very quiet here on this end of the country, in this part of the world. We have a few kind of UK kind of stories I could report on, but I don't really want to. Okay, so that's it, and we're going to move on now to the Magic-related news. All right, there's a lot of Magic news to report about this week. Let's get right into it. NYC magicians in fight with cemetery over the state of Houdini's grave. New York City magicians are stuck in an angry stalemate with the final resting place of Harry Houdini. The local chapter of SAM, Society of American Magicians, is offering to pay for a full refurbishment of Houdini's grave. With the amount of visitors the marker sees every year, they say it should be kept in better shape. However, the caretakers of the cemetery where Houdini is buried in Queens have a long bad blood with the club. According to a Huffington Post article, it stems back to an incident in 1996 where some of the magicians accused the cemetery of selling pieces of Houdini's grave. In a last-ditch effort, the Society of American Magicians tried to recruit Dick Brooks and Dorothy Dimich of the Houdini Museum in Scranton, who have a good relationship with the cemetery, but even that peacemaking effort came up short. So it's a shame that such an important icon for all involved cannot be repaired because of the bad blood. So hopefully it'll work out and somebody can step up here and be the bigger man, but we'll see. All right. Next thing is, I got to tell you, this is a great, heartwarming story. David Blaine entertained Sandy survivors during the blackout. David Blaine noticed a line around the block in a blacked-out neighborhood of Manhattan. The restaurant was serving food off generator power. Blaine saw it as an opportunity to entertain those who needed it. According to a report, Blaine was on his motorbike in Lower Manhattan on October 29th when he noticed residents lined up at the old Homestead Steakhouse restaurant. The line was snaking around the block, David Blaine said, and Blaine found out the staff of the restaurant were serving food during the blackout. So Blaine asked for a deck of cards and entertained the 800 people who were waiting in line. He stayed with them for 90 minutes. Now, Blaine was just riding his bike, and he stopped and entertained. Blaine, I got to applaud him. Great job, Mr. David Blaine. Nobody asked him to entertain. He was just riding by and did it. So that's a very heartwarming story. I think it's heartwarming. You guys might not, but I think it's heartwarming. Okay, now a relic of Vegas magic history resurfaces. You know, when they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they're not kidding. There's a picture taken online. I'm going to post the picture down below that somebody has posted of a trailer of Melinda's magic show. Melinda was billed as the first woman of magic, and the show closed over 7 years ago at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas, and it opened in like the mid-90s. And Melinda made a brief appearance on stage as part of the the Ultimate Variety Show. She made an appearance this year on that. But, I mean, that trailer is just sitting there in Vegas. It hasn't moved. It's still there from when it was back in 7 years ago. So when they say, what happened to Vegas stays in Vegas, they are not kidding. So I'll post a picture of that trailer if you want to see it down below. Now, there's a real-life Harry Potter wand blast in Tesla coil fight. This is a kind of a neat video to see. Two men at a street fair in Queens decided to engage in an electrifying battle, pitting them against each other using Tesla coils. It's a choreographed routine, but the sparks coming from their wands, they're giant stick things, look like blasts coming from Harry Potter wands. So it's really, really cool. And there's some moments of the Tesla coil fight where it actually looks like the final battle between Harry Potter and Voldemort. It looks really, really cool. So I do say go check out the video. Link will be down below to that video. Also, I'm going to see if I can try to get through this. This is my third take trying to film this because this is such a hilarious video. Go check out the video down below. Jump to the 50-second mark of the video because this magician is on stage doing a preschool show, and a kid punches him right in his Harry Potter and his Sorcerer's Stones. This is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. And the kid doesn't mean to punch him in his Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stones. He just happened. It was an accident. The magician gets punched in his Harry Potter, and he is so professional about it. He continues on. You can hear the adults in the background of this video just start laughing. It is so hilarious. And then, boom, he gets punched right in his Harry Potter, and these adults start laughing. The magician starts losing it, but he's very professional and continues on. So go check out the video. Happens at the 50-second mark of the video. So go check it out. It's pretty hilarious. But actually, I would say start at the 40-second mark because there's a little bit of kind of build-up to it. But it's a very hilarious video. I recommend checking it out because it's really, really cool. So it's Magician Gets Punched in the Crotch by a Preschooler is the name of the video, but the link will be down below. Okay, now I'm gonna actually do my review of a magic trick. I love doing this part, just kind of reviewing a magic trick. So here it is.
Hey, it's 3-card Monty time. It's a little hard to see these guys, so we're actually going to use these guys. I'm going to tell you a little story that goes along with them. Hey ya, looky, looky, looky. It's a little game of hanky-poo. Some for me and some for you. 5 will get you 10. 10 will get you 20. Come on, everybody. Let's win some money. Now, it's an easy game, you see. The name of the game is 3-card Monty because it involves 3 cards, the kings and the queen, and it's your job to remember what you've seen. I'm going to give the cards a little mix. 1, 2, 3. Now, the nickname of the game is Find the Lady, so forget about the kings. It's the queen for which you should be looking. Now, at this point, somebody will usually shout, hey, wait a minute, there's something fishy going on here because the queen's up here and the king's now down here. Ha 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 ha! Oh, I know what you're saying. The game looks a little unfair. Hold your horses. I'm going to give you a second chance to go learn this lesson by the seat of your pants. I'm going to give the cards a little mix. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, things are not always as they appear to be because that queen is going to be where you least have expected it to have sat. Hey, who just called me a no-good dirty rat? Well, it just goes to prove that a fool and his money should have never gotten together in the first place because somebody might end up with egg on their face because when something looks too good to be true, you know that con man, he's pulling a scam on you. Ha, ha, ha. And now I've got all your money too. And that is Auto 3-card Monty. This is a killer trick. I'm going to give credit where credit is due in this trick. I do think the person deserves some credit. Barry Taylor used to run Barry's Magic Shop, which closed down. He, I think the pattern is his original pattern. Now, Barry Taylor uses the card trick called one-card prints. It's basically the same thing. It's 3 jumbo cards, and you're doing Monty with them. But the trick also, the secret to the trick's a little different. And also the handling's a little different too for the trick. But Barry uses 1-card prints, and he takes the cards and he's changing them and all that. This is the same trick, except I use the Auto 3-card Monty cards. 1, because it's cheaper. That's the real reason why. Because 1-card prints is like really expensive. I mean, it's or 3-card prints. 3-card prints, I think is what it's called. It's really expensive. I mean, it's like $90 for it. So the Auto 3-card Monty is like $30, so it's a lot cheaper, and you can do the same routine with it. If you watch Barry Taylor's pattern, his is a little different because the 3-card prints is actually a little different. Because you get an ace, a king, and a queen instead of 2 kings and a queen with this one. So the pattern is a little different, but you can easily change the pattern up for this one. And Barry Taylor doesn't pull out an egg from his cards, and he also doesn't pull out big giant penny. Barry has this like wad of money he pulls out. It's like money on strings, a big thing of money on a piece of string, and he comes out and it's like he shakes it. It's really cool. But he doesn't produce the egg, and I thought the egg was kind of cool to do at the end when he says somebody might end up with egg on their face. Pull out an egg. It's really cool. So you know that's a 3-card Auto 3-card Monty. Let's talk about the trick itself though. This is a really killer trick. I mean, this is limited by your own imagination. I mean, you can do whatever you want with this. I mean, honestly, the gimmick is so clever that you can really do this thing without really being detected. I mean, I've done this routine, and no one's detected the secret move or the secret gimmick. No one has. I mean, you might look at this and say, well, I know the secret move or gimmick, but trust me, when you perform this, if you perform the same routine I do, and I perform at really high energy. I think I kind of held back a little bit in this performance video, but I'm a lot more high energy, throwing my hands around like this. I think I was a little less energetic in this video. But anyways, it's a really great trick. It's Auto 3-card Monty. And if you use the presentation I do, here's the point I was making with that before I went in a different way. No one will detect it. I mean, like when I'm throwing my hands around and I'm like getting in their face, and it's fun. It's a fun trick. So it's Auto 3-card Monty. I can't recommend this enough. I've had this for a while. The only thing I found with this trick is the way the secret works, it's going to be kind of tough to come up with an idea at first. I mean, I played around with an idea because, like, you can do a 3-card Monty routine where you have the cards all sitting here in front like this, and you say, okay, you show them which one the queen is, you say, which one's the queen? You turn around, it's like, no, that's the king. I mean, I used to do something like that, but I didn't think it delivered enough of a punch. Then I saw Barry Taylor do 3-card Prince by Harry Anderson, and I said, that pattern works for me, and it works for my style of Magic, and it's great, and I love that pattern. I love this trick now. So it's, but don't, just because I said it's hard to think about a routine with this, you will think of one after a little bit. But for me, it took a couple weeks before I was finally like, I know what to do with a routine. And then I saw Barry do the 3-card Prince, and it was really cool. So that's auto 3-card Monty. Very, very cool. And now we'll get back to more of the Talk is Right.
All right. Well, before we end the Talk is Right this week, I do want to remind everyone that YouTube Speaks is back. And it's been a little revamped. We're going to try it again this week. And here's what I want you to YouTube Speaks on this week. It's been revamped because you don't have to do a video response. Just, post a little comment down below. What I want you to post a comment about is, if you watched the Halloween episode of The Price is Right, what did you think? Thoughts in the comments down below. For the Talk is Right. It's been fun. We're back to regular episodes for a couple weeks, and then we're going to go into some holiday episodes. I'm going to do a little rundown of the schedule here for the Talk is Right for the next few weeks. Next week, we're going to do a regular episode. The following week's going to be kind of a special Thanksgiving episode. It's not going to really be a full-blown Thanksgiving. And then we'll do one more regular episode. Then we're going to do holiday episodes of the Talk is Right the month of December. The last week of December, the week of Christmas. There's going to be no Talk is Right on Wednesday that week, so mark your calendars. It's actually going to be on Tuesday. There's going to be an actual Christmas episode of the Talk is Right uploaded and filmed on Christmas Day. So on December 25th, be on the lookout for a Talk is Right that day. Now, I know a lot of you probably won't be able to watch it that day, which is completely fine, because you're probably going to be off doing Christmassy type things or whatever. But it will be up on Christmas. That's going to be an actual Christmas episode. The rest will be holiday episodes. Okay, so from all of us here at the 444, the Zachman18, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to help control the YouTube content. Always flag inappropriate material, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
The Talk is Right is sponsored by the following.
Dad, there's a package for you. But I didn't order anything. What's this? Arf, arf. Gee willikers, it's a puppy. Remember, everybody loves a puppy, and now you can ship one anywhere just by logging on to petsovernights.com. Petsovernights.com, delivering little bundles of love in a box directly to your door. Arf.
This is the Zachman18 speaking for The Talk is Right, a 444RR production.